Hi everyone, and welcome to another tank review with NIN Holy234 here. Today I'm gonna be doing a tank review of the Indian Panzer, a German tier 8 medium tank, and the T-54, a Russian tier 9 medium tank during gameplay. So you guys are gonna be seeing me playing both tanks one after the other. So in one battle I'm gonna be playing the Indian Panzer, which is gonna be this battle. The next battle I'm gonna be playing the T-54. Basically, right now when I go over the review of both tanks, I just want you guys to see the gameplay, okay, and get an understanding of how to use each tank separately. Okay, both tanks are completely different, even though both of them are medium tanks. The German tank by far has more gun depression than the T-54, but the T-54 has more armor and has a lower profile. So right now I'm going to be doing a review of the Indian Panzer, and I hope you guys can get a really good understanding of this tank. This tank is not fully upgraded yet, so it's a stock. I have got it like 2 weeks ago. I've been grinding it since, but I have a good gun on it, and I have a good turret, and a good engine. Well, not actually the engine. I have the tracks, and I have the gun, and I have the radio. So it's a good tank overall, even though if it's not fully upgraded yet. So with the Indian Panzer, as a medium tank, I try to use it mainly for not for scouting or for even rushing. I try to always use it in camping. Okay, it's always better to use this tank if you're camping. Okay, like a heavy kind of, even though it's a medium tank. But I like to use my Indian Panzer in camping. Okay, most of the time. I try to take advantage of its frontal armor. It has really good frontal armor, and it has a really good gun on it. So if you can camp somewhere and try not to move around too much so that you wouldn't get spotted really easy, and at the same time try to use your gun in a very effective way, you can get a lot of damage really easy. So right now I'm gonna show you guys some of the strategies that you can do or you can employ during gameplay using the Indian Panzer. So the first strategy that I'm going to show you guys is basically how to camp and use your gun effectively. Okay, so I'm camping and I'm trying to hit the Pershing from behind. See, I mean, he's basically rushing and I'm basically trying to hunt him from the back. Okay, if you go after him really quickly, okay, you might get destroyed really quickly. So you try to take your time when you're camping and at the same time get more damage on him. Okay, I'm getting hit from the back. The KV or the T-150 is actually taking advantage of me having no tracks and hitting me really hard. See, I mean, I have more armor on the front, so I have to face him with my frontal armor. Okay, but I usually try to stay out of the scene, like stay in the shadows. You know, try to camp, get more hits, try not to show yourself too much. See, I was able to penetrate the T-28 from the front with my gun. Usually the T-28 is a tank destroyer. It has really strong frontal armor. So I mean, I was kind of amazed by this hit, that I was able to penetrate the T-28 from the front. Okay, here's the T-150. I want to kill that guy. Yeah, come to Poppy. So I would have to face him from the front. I'm kind of lagging over here right now. My ping just went all the way up high. So hopefully I'm going to get destroyed. Oh my gosh. Well, the T-150 has a really good gun on it. But I guess he was lucky this time. But yes, always try to face him with your frontal armor instead of your sides or the back. Right, so that's for the Indian Panzer. I mean, that's the only strategy that I have right now for this specific tank. But let's go for the T-54 and try to play with the T-54, and I'll go over more strategies for the T-54 with you guys. the T-54 is one of my favorite tanks. I've been playing this tank for a while now. I mean, it's been playing it for at least a few months. By far, it's one of the best medium tanks when it comes to tier 9s. Okay, this tank has a really good frontal armor, as you guys can see. I mean, the frontal armor of this tank is really amazing. Okay, I mean, you can go over all the details in game from the tech tree. Like if you click on the tech tree above in the main menu, click on the T-54, try to get more characteristics on the tank, you'll be able to see that the frontal armor has more armor. The front of the tank has more armor than the sides or the back. So definitely when you're using the T-54, try to use it more from the front. Okay, try to use it mainly when you're trying to attack somebody. Try to use the front more than the sides or the back. The gun that I have on the T-54 is mainly the last gun, the tier 9 gun, which is gonna be the 100mm gun. Okay, it has an average damage of around 320 and 420. So that's a good gun, and by far that is the last gun. Okay, so the tank, the T-54 tank that I have is fully upgraded. Okay, I have the last gun on it, so it's not the dope gun, but it is the best gun for the reload time. Okay, it takes me around 6 seconds to reload, which is a really good time for a tier 9 to reload. Okay, so the gun is a good gun. I mean, I can penetrate most tanks really easy with that gun, especially if those tanks are lights or mediums. Okay, for heavy tanks it depends on the tank. Okay, for tank destroyers it's like 50-50 chance. Okay, sometimes I can penetrate them from the front, sometimes I can. Okay, one thing about the T-54 is that it has a low profile, so you guys can see that the T-54 has a really low profile. So I mean, that means that I can take cover anywhere around the map and I wouldn't be spotted really easy. Okay, I can take cover and I can hit and run. Okay, or I can take cover and camp and snipe. Okay, so that's a really good advantage. Okay, one thing about the T-54 that the Indian Panzer doesn't have, like if we go back to the Indian Panzer right here for a second, see, the Indian Panzer has a really big profile. Okay, it's kind of taller than the T-54. Okay, so I mean, if you try to camp, the enemy might be able to spot your turret, the enemy might be able to spot your gun, so you can get spotted really easy in the Indian Panzer than the T-54. Okay, so the T-54 has a low profile, which is a really good thing, and the tank itself is really small. Okay, I mean, compared to other tier 9s, the T-54 has a smaller size. So if I have another tier 9, which is Centurion. Okay, Centurion is a really amazing tier 9 British tank, medium tank. Okay, I usually use medium tanks more than heavy tanks. So if you compare the Centurion to the T-54, you'll be able to see that the Centurion has bigger profile and it's kind of bigger than the T-54. But the Centurion has more gun depression than the T-54, which is a really huge advantage that the Centurion has over the T-54. But the T-54 has more advantages than the Centurion when it comes to the lower profile, the good gun on it, the high speed, and so on. Okay, so the T-54 also has a really good engine as well. That tank by far has one of the best engines on it. I mean, you can go to 56 kilometers an hour with this tank. Okay, it's like an E25, or it's like a scout tank in a medium tank. Okay, so it has the speed, it has the firepower, and it has the mobility. I mean, it has everything that you need. So you really need, like, if you really know how to use a T-54, you can definitely make the most out of this tank. Okay, but sometimes it takes time. Okay, so you have to fully upgrade the tank, you have to train your crew, and then you have to train yourself how to play this tank and how to employ the tactics and the strategies in this tank to be able to use it very effectively. Okay, so right now I'm gonna go in battle and I'm gonna show you guys some of the tactics that I'm gonna use playing the T-54. Well, I mean, for a tier 9 match, that's a really good matchmaking. You don't get that many tier 10s or tier 9s, but mostly tier 8s. So this is gonna be a good battle for me, I hope. If I mean, I don't like the map. The map is really bad for me. But I like the matchmaking. The matchmaking means that there's much more tanks that you'll be able to destroy with your own tank. Like my tank is much superior to most tanks in this match. Alright, so I'm not really familiar with this map really much, so I'm gonna try to do my best here, but I might not do that good in this map. So the first strategy in this, like playing the T-54, okay, the first strategy ever, it has nothing to do with the tactics or the gameplay itself. Okay, it has to do with how to use a tank. Okay, I kind of lagged over here. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do before you can even do anything is just when the battle starts, see where everyone is going. Okay, and don't rush right away. Most people rush. Okay, don't rush. Just see where everyone is going first, and then try to make up your mind. Okay, because the T-54 can be used as a sniper, it can be used as a scout, and it can be used as a camper. Okay, so you can do all three right in the T-54. So depending on how the game is gonna go, how the battle is gonna go, you'll be able to know exactly how to use your T-54. So right now, as I'm seeing, the heavies are going city, the mediums are going over hill, so probably it's gonna be better for me to stick with the mediums. Okay, so I'm gonna rush with the mediums over the hill. I mean, I can go middle, but probably all the enemy targets are gonna be in the middle, so I'm gonna be on my own in the middle, so probably it's better for me to stick with the other team members on the hill. Since I'm gonna be rushing, okay, always try to use your frontal armor when you're facing other enemy tanks. So if other enemy tanks are firing at you, try to use your frontal armor much more than any of your sides or the back. Right now I'm going over hill. My top speed is 56 kilometers an hour. Right now I'm going 21 kilometers an hour over hill. So that's a good speed, especially if you're trying to go over on the top of the hill. So if you're trying to go against gravity, so yeah, that's a good speed for something like this. But usually when I'm going down there, I might go like a little bit faster. So now I'm gonna be camping, so I have to employ the camping strategies, which is basically what: try to take cover, try to use the low profile of your tank, and try to take advantage of your frontal armor. Like if they try to hit you from the front, they're not gonna be able to hit you from the front, or they're not gonna be able to penetrate you from the front, since you have a lot of frontal armor. So, and they're not going to be able to spot you that easy either, so you have to employ all those strategies. I'm kind of lagging here because I'm streaming, but I'm hoping that I wouldn't lag bad, that I would do really bad in this game. My ping just keeps jumping all over the place. Okay, I got hit. That means I got spotted. But you see, I mean, the Jack Tiger, he hit me from the front and he wasn't able to penetrate me. So that's a good thing, okay? I mean, I wasn't damaged at all. Maybe got like a scratch or something, but I didn't lose any of my hit points. See? But since now I was basically facing with my sides, the Ferdinand was able to hit me from the side and he was able to get some damage on me. See, I'm lagging really bad right now. My tank is not moving well. it's really bad when something like that happens in game. Like when you lag like this, I mean, your whole gameplay is messed up. And that's a really bad thing with World of Tanks. I mean, Wargaming, I mean, the game lags all the time. It's really bad when it comes to lag. Like right now, I'm lagging really bad, and it happens all the time. So if you're playing World of Tanks, just make sure that you recognize those lag problems too, and be prepared for them happening to you at any time. I'm gonna try to get that STA down there. Oh, that sucked. Well, he got me. Yes, well, I kind of survived this. I was kind of lucky to survive this. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please remember to watch, rate, and subscribe. And in for the one. Good game, everyone.